This is Gerald Joavamas. Maybe you don't realize it, but every letter has a specific position in a time and spatial frame. Why don't we realize that very much? Because we all know the orientation in space in two parts, the up, down, before, after. That's all very easy. But in three parts, there's this uncertainty principle in it because we have to adapt. That's why we are not very conscious of it, but it exists as well in the same way. And I have theorized it, and I have put it also in a scheme so that you can also learn it. The scheme will follow as well. But I also give very quick demonstrations how that works, how our mind works, how it follows this structure which is lying there before us, a structure of balance actually. As much reality as there is up and down and right and left, it's this in between into the zones of three. It gives its order automatically. It follows this order automatically. And the theory you can see here will not explain it too much, but it's basically a structure of balance, a structure of focus, also a geometrical, horizontal, vertical, diagonal, also followed. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 points, 1, 2, 3 directions, 1, 2, 3 reorganizations in context timing of space. No explanations, but I will explain in the demonstration how bottle looks like. It follows these directions of where it is in this time and spatial frame, and there it also forms it has a tendency to form itself a little bit. Just imagine that we don't immediately see it and we follow these instructions which are lying underneath. We already sense this structure, we already sense where these points are, and still it doesn't work. This is also a demonstration how that happens and can happen, and I will demonstrate it here. In the end, it has to be a mixture of all these qualities so that you have at the end just one orientation in just one go, and you represent the object. So I will also say where I will lose my focus a little bit, and then afterwards I will correct it, and you will immediately see, okay, what I missed, and how it also gives us immediately a solution. But you have to realize, you have to be honest with yourself. What do I see and what don't I see immediately? I don't know it very well. Realize that, and you can go back to that point. So bottle, it's B, it's this. So it's focusing upon the form in space, which is spreading and which is enlarging, which is continued with O, which is a continuation also in time frame. So it is looking to two differences in space in which there are two different moments also realized, of which we have just one spatial frame in T, where we have to pinpoint what is a function in the first focus. And there it is, the range of T I don't know very well at this point. Where do I see a function? I don't immediately see a function. Where is that function? But I know the region of T is somewhat in the volume, and I simply place it there. So I place it, and on top of that I will also add the forming of some irregularities around that where things are forming with some differences. The L has two forms in two different areas which can be comparable and which also show a formation process that takes place. So that's the form, that's the place of L. And in the end, okay, I have to have the E or the certain time from one area to the other area that I'm focusing about. Is that clear enough? Actually, it isn't. It's not clear enough, so I have to add more detail. I keep all the ideas that I have already, but I look also into the scheme. What do I have as a detail? What can I add even as a detail? And the form that comes from it is a pressure at the borders. It can be one of both borders, so there are irregularities in both options. And from there is the O, or the environment around it, in which I focus on in a spatial frame with T. The spatial frame of 3. I had it before and was a bit fake. Yeah, there is no reference point from the previous form and then the T. So but now when I'm a bit more focused, I also know where the position ends, and it ended not just too far away. No, it ended the B, or pressure points of B is there. So I also have to add the T there. And actually there are two T's, so in the two directions, in the two differences. This will be extended with L, so the L is the forms and the irregularity of forms, so in two parts. I will add them, and I will even add them with the original formation of pressure from one part to the other part into these variations of form. And then I will add the time frame at the end. So I have, in the end, it has some time, and I will also say, like, okay, what I do there, what is happening there, I also give it some time. This is already a little more clear how it fits with the bottle. Also, these irregularities in form, which also sometimes are even expressed in the bottles, even if they are not absolutely necessary to have that form, we have a tendency to also make that form adaptive also to the how we express the word. Strangely enough, but it is like that. The bottle is a word with two meanings. It is the bottle itself, but it's also the bottling, and the bottling, it also has is related with the time process. So all these things you can already recognize now by just adding up the features that are described in the theory, the positions that are described in the theory, and the formation process behind it, that yet you can also learn to adapt to, and also adapt from one letter to the other. That's a little bit of a learning process to do that well. So, but I gave you an example of how I also made a small mistake that I don't know where I have to place it. So, okay, I already place it. You have to be careful if you do that, and have to be conscious about that. And you go back to it, you know immediately where you missed something, and you add simply the dots where you missed it before, and you have it. So even here, this is just a sketch, but you know already, you see it already. The bottle is forming itself, the idea is forming itself, and it fits, it always will fit, and every word fits with its content, because it's describe this balance that we use unconsciously to use these to describe also the objects and what they are about. Anyhow, this was Gerald Jovaas again. This a little bit over 5 minutes again, but okay. Thanks again for watching. So I'm already over 5 minutes. A few books are there as well. One part with volume 1 and 2, or the two volumes separately, with a few extra examples already in there on how you have to work there. I hope I could make one extra book someday that is about which theory is practical and which is not, the selection actually. But the videos of course demonstrate more often what is a little bit more practical, and the immediate results of that. Thank you for watching. There is a website to Sound Inform, with a page with a full list of all the words that I did before, and you can find the book in several. You can also find the book in several platforms, as you can see there. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Bye bye.